Thank you.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life.
Yeah!
Transgender children.
You are beautiful.
You are heard.
You belong.
You are understood.
You are loved.
And you belong. Some of the bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known. And
you're welcome.
Good folks.
Can we take a little video? Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Trans rights are human rights. Oh, it's a video.
In Joe Biden's America, bravery is demonstrated by choosing to castrate yourself, mutilate yourself, or pretend that you're somebody that you're not.
I'll talk about courage. Well, I see more courage in this lawn than I've seen in any time in the recent past. You're some of the bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known. And I've known a lot of good folks.
Because you see, in Joe Biden's America, teachers who feel it's their duty to indoctrinate children into the pride religion. And they do it behind the backs of the children's parents. And even the children don't want to see this. Take a look at this video.
Wow, Miss Clark. Wow. Why are you showing this to kids?
Hey, I'll warn you guys now, if you're going to be inappropriate, I will have supervision down and give all of you a Saturday school for next year. So knock it off.
Okay.
And then, in Joe Biden's America, parents who are not wanting their children to be indoctrinated into this lifestyle, who do not want their children learning about nonsense, stuff that doesn't apply to what should be taught in schools, those parents are labeled as domestic terrorists.
Meeting in Granby, Connecticut got very heated Wednesday night over a video the school district showed to lower school students.
Universal Kids celebrates Pride Month.
The uproar is over this 45-second video celebrating Pride Month.
What Pride means to me is just being myself and standing up for what I believe in.
And the messaging about transgender issues to middle school children.
Pride means you should be able to be free. All my life I never really felt like a boy, and I don't really feel like a girl, so I'd rather be both.
The same way we keep religion, politics, everything out of school, keep sexuality out of school, leave it to the parents.
I'm not being asked to be notified about everything that goes across the principal's desk, but I think there should be some sensitivity, because I expect my kids to go to school to be challenged in many ways. This is a situation where they were challenged in a way that maybe I didn't expect.
Some were there in support. Resident Matt Brady said he is the parent of a transgender child.
I understand that the video made some parents uncomfortable, and I understand that you feel that sensitive topics should be discussed at home. I totally respect that. But these topics are obviously not being discussed at home, or else there wouldn't be such an uproar. For those of you who think the kids are too young to know what the transgender people and kids who have two dads exist, I remind you that the fifth graders at school are sitting in the same seats that my son sat in 2 years ago. And there are kids at Wells Road right now that fit that description.
The principal of the school wrote in an email to parents, quote, "It certainly was not intended to alienate or disturb any child. In context, we were trying to remind students that it is okay to be who you are and still be treated with respect, dignity, and kindness." Kyle Reyes was listening to the meeting on Zoom. He has 2 kids in the school.
It's inappropriate to be having these conversations in the classroom, especially without the knowledge of the parents.
Nick D'Amato also has 2 kids in the school and says there's no place for this in the school.
My father is an openly gay man, married to my stepmother. My mom is an openly lesbian woman, and we were instilled the values that, you're very welcoming and accepting to people. But we were also taught that God gave us certain rights that the Constitution spells out for us, and that a lot of service members have fought and died for to protect for us. So it's important to have a balance between the two. And to violate that by sending this material to 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders is unacceptable.
That I could say that I like to be called a...
Now, the superintendent says the district needs to work better to communicate more effectively. Residents there are not buying it. The residents we spoke to, Kyle Reyes, who you just heard from earlier in the story, says he's pulling all of his children out of the school district. Nicole?
All right, investigative correspondent Rich McHugh reporting live. Thank you.
Because you see, in Joe Biden's America, the religion of the land is the LGBTQ, or a Marxist dogma that anyone that stands for biblical values, that stands for traditional American values, are persona non grata. See, we have to understand something. As Christians, persecution is here. As Christians, they're coming for you because you are the only thing stopping them from accomplishing their goals.
What they will do to the church, what they will do to believers, what the price will be that we will pay. But it is to be expected. It is to be expected. I just read you John 15, 18 to 20. We've had a bit of a reprieve in our country from what is more normal. Certainly there's been individual persecution, there has been maybe group persecution, but to have the government now joining the persecution of the church is kind of a new era for us.
But a lot of Christians don't get that. A lot of Christians are still asleep to the fact that they are coming for your children. They want your children. Instead of taking their children out of these indoctrination camps, instead of taking these children out of the church of the LGBTQ, that's what these schools are. They keep their children there, and they are surprised their children come out totally different than they knew them, when they don't even recognize their children anymore.
Going to suffer so terribly. And we laugh now, but they will come after us. They will come after our children. They will close the net around us while we are playing soccer mom and soccer dad. While we are arguing over so many little things and mesmerized by so many trinkets, the net even now is closing around you and your children and your grandchildren, and it does not cause you to fear. You will be isolated from society, as has already happened. Anyone who tries to run for office who actually believes the Bible will be considered a lunatic until finally we are silenced. We will be called things that we're not and persecuted not for being followers of Christ, but for being radical fundamentalists who do not know the true way of Christ, which of course is love and tolerance. You'll go down as the greatest bigots and haters of mankind in history. They've already come after your children, and for most of you, they got them. They got them through the public schools and indoctrination, and the university and indoctrination, and then you wonder why your children come out not serving the Lord. It's because you fed them right into the devil's mouth. So little by little, the net is closing around, and then it's not little by little. Look how fast things are going downhill just in a matter of weeks. Matter of weeks. But at the same time, know this. Persecution is always meant for evil, but God always means it for good. And is it not better to suffer in this life, to have an extra weight of glory in heaven?
See, the Bible talks about woe to those who call evil good and good evil. And the Bible talks about in Proverbs 29:2, where it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when a wicked man rules, the people groan. The people are groaning here in America. The people are groaning in this land because they are living and are subjected to an unrighteous administration that wants to punish anybody that does not agree to their agenda. They want to make all of us victims. They do. Their sole purpose is to victimize anybody that doesn't follow along with the Marxist, communist, socialist pride agenda. Well, I'm here to tell you, we are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. We will stand up for truth. We will speak the truth in love. We don't hate anyone or anything, but you will not push this stuff on our children and get away with it. We will stand firm on the biblical truth that is found in the Word of God, stand firm on the biblical principles that establish this land and will save the republic. Our republic will not be saved by a politician. As much as I like Donald Trump, he will not save this republic. The republic will be saved when people who are called by God stand up and fight back spiritually and take back this country for the glory of God. That's when this republic will be saved. Otherwise, America is hanging on by a thread.